like to see pink.
Okay. Just talk as normal. I'm
Well,
just,
we had to click on get it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did that.
All right. So anyway, this is so much fun. Chris, you're right in front of your house and I'm in front of my house. Betty's in front of her
Front
house.
of my house.
Mike's in front of
Oh, I should
Ukraine, his
put a-
house.
put a picture up of my
I'm
house.
sitting in my kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all
that
right.
And I'm in the
That
computer
counts.
room.
So Roy and Joe, where are you all right now? Are you in
We're
Tennessee?
in our office in Collegetown
Okay.
at home.
And I will remember staying at your place, your lovely place.
Well, we were delighted to have you.
I remember Howard knocking over that bowl and breaking it too.
Oh.
Oh,
I forgot
That
when
was
it
awful.
jumped out.
yeah.
Dear.
So Steve,
Shirley was gonna look for Reg. Reg was somewhere in the house because she said she wasn't sure she could know how to Zoom.
oh,
So she was looking for Reg.
Ah,
I wanted
Well, if
to,
I can do it, anybody can do it.
yes,
that's
you did
right.
good. You did really
Did
good.
it.
Steve, I
You
wanted
did
to introduce you to my two sons. I don't know that you have met them before.
Probably not.
There's Chris. He's waving at you. If you can see
Chris?
him, he may be on another screen. And there's Mike.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah, I see Chris. Hello. Hello, Chris.
Okay. And Mike is wearing a headset.
Hello, yes,
Yes, Mike, I see
Boy-
you. Yes.
Boise, Idaho.
He's
This is
in
where I'm at.
Boise. Chris is
Oh.
right here and in near Orlando, near us. And
All right.
so we're
This is great. We should
well
have done this. We
represented.
should have done this before.
I know.
Yes. Well,
For
we
us that
sisters-
don't, sorry,
We sisters do it every Monday night.
Oh,
And
do you?
then Chris and Mike join us. So any of you that want to do this, be sure, just remember, we do it at 7 o'clock Monday night, every Monday night.
Every Monday night.
So you're
Cool.
welcome to join us
Yeah,
every
just
time.
hop on.
Sure.
Right.
Sometimes the cousins get on just for a few minutes. And
So-
sometimes they are on for longer.
so to help me know who's who, you all are Edwards. So this
We are
would be Gordon and Ruth Edwards. That's the family.
Correct.
Um, And Reg and Shirley is
Reggie,
well, Shirley is the, so there was three in your
Yeah.
family, is that right?
And Steve.
Steve, Roy, and
Yeah.
Shirley.
Steve is,
Steve,
is-
Roy,
and a girl.
okay, yeah,
I'm only by marriage.
yes.
and that's Joe, and this is Roy.
Mhm.
Joe and Roy, and they live in Collegedale.
Okay.
And Steve, where do you live?
I live in Sunnyvale, California.
Sunnyvale,
San
California.
Francisco.
Okay.
So Steve is
Yeah.
the youngest, Roy is in the middle, and Shirley's the oldest in that family.
Steve,
I
when
still think
when
of
is your
Steve as
birthday?
You what?
What is your
I still
birthday?
think of Steve
February
as Butch.
26th.
Butch.
What is it? February? What year?
26,
What year?
1944.
44. So you're a year older than me. Because I was born in
Yep.
45. And Betty and, was it Betty or was it, oh, yeah, Betty and Roy are almost the same age. And then
Correct.
Charlotte and Shirley are about the same age. Is that correct? Am I have that right?
I think Shirley's 2 years younger.
Okay.
No one's as old as me.
No, well, I think there's somebody else older than you.
I think there's somebody.
I
Barbara,
thought
yes,
Barbara was first.
Yeah, I'm the
Now,
oldest.
who said that?
Barbara. I'm the oldest, Steve,
How old are you?
88.
Nah,
Getting close to
you're a young
90.
whippersnapper.
Uh,
You're a young whippersnapper.
Yeah,
Well, we could go ahead and get started. I think Shirley, and I hope Shirley and Reg will be coming, but I hate to let Chris and Mike just sit here idly. We need to put them to work.
Goes to work.
Well, Joe, can you call Shirley on your phone and find out what they're doing?
Yeah, I called her a little bit ago and she said, oh, that's right, it's tonight. And so she says, I gotta find
Yeah.
Reg, he's somewhere around. So.
Well,
She
she had to write it down. Shirley did.
I
He
don't
forgets
know.
everything.
And who knows where Reg is? Where she had to go to find him? Like you said, maybe he's out in the orchard.
On his
Yeah,
truck.
could be.
We just
Could be.
lost Barbara.
Oh,
Hmm.
hmm.
Oh, who are we missing?
Just Shirley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody else is here. So what we're going to do? Oh, Mike, you're back in your yard. I didn't notice
This is my backyard.
Your
Mhm.
backyard.
Foggy day. Rainy,
Oh, yeah,
foggy
looks
day.
nice.
That's what it looks like right now.
It looks similar. I took
Mhm.
this some time ago, but it is kind of rainy today.
Hmm.
Feels like the Northwest.
Mhm. But when Shirley does come on, I know we're all going to want to chit chat for a minute. So Chris, if you want to go ahead and get started, and when she comes on, you can stop sharing the screen, but go ahead.
Sure. Well, we enjoyed looking at family tree and family history, and we happened to discover, just looking at the Edwards side of the family, we discovered some things and just wanted to share. We don't know how much detail you knew, or it's just fascinating to us to find out little tidbits and see where our family came from. And I can share, let me put up my screen here. And hopefully you'll be able to
Where'd you
see.
get all this stuff?
Well, there are different websites and family tree history sites that have details.
The Mormon Church.
Yes. The Mormons have a lot.
I thought Joe had all that stuff.
Listen, I have nothing compared to what Chris has done. I can assure you.
Well, you may be able to add to it so that.
Yeah, that's something else that's kind of fun. We can all share.
Yeah, and that's what's fun about this site. This is the Family Search website that it is run by the Mormon Church, but it's free. It's completely free. Anyone can create an account, and you can add photos and you can add details. And it's kind of just a repository that is online and available to whoever would like to get involved with it. Just putting on the screen here, can everyone see the
Mhm.
page that I
Make it-
have open?
That's
A little
better.
bigger.
Mhm,
That's
it's
better.
good, bigger.
Can you add names tonight on there? I see the spouses are not listed at the bottom.
The ones at the bottom, that's a private, it doesn't allow us to put any living people on publicly.
Okay.
So I do need to add that, but it only will let you list, let's see, make that a little bit bigger there. So one of the interesting things to me was seeing a line of our family tree that came from Florida and came from where the Edwards family goes way back to the very beginnings, actually, of Sarasota,
Right.
which is only a couple of hours from here. And Mike has a
Yeah.
connection to that as well.
Yeah, your dad and I are born in the same place. Sarasota.
Mike was born in
Yes.
Sarasota, and so
Was.
was your father.
And
kinda neat.
actually, it goes back, and I don't know if these are new details to you or whether you knew some of these things. I just started finding newspaper clippings and different details. So I'm not sure the best way to share this, but if you look on the screen, so the parents here of Gordon Leroy Edwards were Irvin Horatio Edwards and Mary, and he was born in Sarasota. And his father, John, was an immigrant who came to Sarasota before it was even a city. And there's a story that someone wrote, and it was one of his descendants, where it talked about how he ended up in Sarasota. I just found that very fascinating. So that would be your great grandfather,
Mhm. That would be right.
John,
John
Mhm.
Edwards.
John Edwards,
Mhm.
yes.
We can share a little bit about that, but then also on the other side, the Pinard family, the great grandfather Felix, he was a commercial photographer, and one of the first photographers in the Sarasota area back in the late 1800s. And there are quite a few photos that are on historic websites that pictures of them, pictures of their family, pictures of where they lived. So just to briefly share this.
You mean you're talking about the code to come in?
The story about how John Edwards
No, that's
made
not
his
it.
way to Florida
No.
is part of the Civil War. He was in a battle in South Carolina, and he was injured and was actually left for dead on the battlefield. And a farmer whose property that battle took place on found him, took him to his house, and nursed him back to health. And as part of his recovery, the doctors at that point said, you need to go to the south. You need to go down where the coast is, where the climate is better, and you'll have a better recovery. So he ends up going, getting a sailboat and sailing down the coast, and was heading down to Key West, where he thought he might find some work. But it just so happened that he was in the vicinity of the Sarasota Bay. He was running out of water, and he decides to go ashore and finds a place where there's water. And he liked that area, and he decided to stay and did a homestead claim and ended up staying there for the rest of his life. His wife, who's on the screen there, Mellie Frances Angie, she was the daughter of the farmer who found him on the battlefield.
The farmer's daughter story.
Got to know the family, and then they actually got married, and just very, very interesting.
That's a cool love story. I like that.
That is very neat.
Yeah.
can I
And-
add a couple of things?
Yes.
Well, Irvine Horatio Edwards, his brother, A.B. Edwards, was the first mayor of Sarasota.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And Mary Joseph Pinard, she was living up in Tampa, around where the airport is now. And they came from the Martinique Islands from France. They came first to Martinique and then up to Tampa, and they came from France, Rockford, France.
Huh.
That was her background.
Okay. So they were immigrants from France.
Correct.
So let's see.
You have French blood in you.
That's true.
So here's a couple of photos that we found of him. Here's a portrait.
Handsome.
Yes, he was.
And let's see.
Now, he was a photographer in the Sarasota area. Is that what you're saying?
That's what some newspaper articles talk about that.
Uh-huh.
He took a few pictures. This is like a stereo photo of their home site. Let's see.
How is he related to Roy and Steve?
Isn't that the great grandfather? Or the
Great
Grandfather.
Mhm.
grandfather?
or just grandfather?
And this
What was
would
his first name?
let's see.
It's Felix.
Felix.
Okay.
There'd be a picture of the yard where they lived at in Sarasota.
Yeah.
Not any dates on it, but that would
Looks
have
like
been.
Florida.
Mhm.
been
Looked
early.
like the
remember
house
that.
was on stilts. Did I miss that, or was it look like it?
It looked like it.
It probably was.
Up
Mm.
off the ground.
Mm.
Yeah.
Most of them were that way. Uh-huh. Good observation, Betty.
Huh?
Hmm.
Just all like a very rough hewn cabin. Let's see. Then there's some pictures of his family. Let me go and bring that up here. Let's see.
Mm.
Click over to his wife, Helen. And there's a little family portrait.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Helen
There's some of your cousins.
and their son Francis and Mary,
That's my grandmother.
grandmother.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
And then
Huh.
the great uncle.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
And let's see. There's a portrait of
Great grandmother. Yeah.
Mhm.
Isn't she pretty?
that's a neat one with palm trees and
Very tropical.
imagine
I
what
don't know how they wore those high neck, long sleeve clothes in Florida, though.
And those boots. Look at
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well,
But
they
you see all the people at that era were dressed alike, and how they stand the heat, I can't imagine.
but they were getting away from the mosquitoes, I'll bet.
Oh,
That's
that's true too.
Mhm.
That is true.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go and there's a couple of photos. Let's see, and portraits that the
Hmm.
That cute. That's so
Thank you.
sweet.
So their
Looks like
dad
Ryan
was,
Shirley.
Yeah,
That looks a lot like Shirley.
Mhm.
you're right.
Wow.
And that's the grandmother?
That's the
Yeah,
grandmother. Mhm.
Grandmother. Wow.
I can see it.
Cute.
Very interesting.
Isn't that neat?
Although Shirley
Yeah.
and I have always been said that we look more like Eldridges than Edwards. Steve looks like the Edwardses.
Yeah.
Look at that little boy right there, Steve. Does that not look
Yeah.
like your grandson and pictures of you?
He does. He looks like my
sure
grandson. He sure does.
that's a really good
That's
clear
That's
one.
a nice one.
Oh,
Mhm.
How
Wow, those are
cute.
so neat.
These pictures are online. Is that where you got these?
Yeah, they're on a Sarasota, Florida history site.
Okay.
It's
Why everybody or just Edwards? Well, I don't mean just Edwards, but why were these on versus another family?
likely because of their father, Felix, who was a photographer in the Sarasota area, and these have been
Okay.
preserved probably in a museum there. I don't know who has the originals or anything, but
Right.
they're part
Okay.
of the Florida history website,
Very
floridamemory.com.
Florida,
Okay.
what?
Well, I'm hoping to watch all of this on YouTube after you're all done with this, right?
Chris, what did you
Yes.
say?
Yes, I'm going to upload this whole conversation to YouTube.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that on my big screen. I can.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and then you can rewind and come back and so forth. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Yes.
That's it.
Also, I can also tell you that AB, he was a realtor, is where he was his profession. He was the first mayor, but he also built and owned what they called the Florida Theater. And the Florida Theater was turned into the Opera House in Sarasota now.
Hmm,
Wow.
interesting. Theater.
This one is called Crying Josephine Poses with Francis.
Crying.
Poor thing. Oh, she was not happy about that.
Not really.
Really
No.
used his kids as subjects.
Yes, yes, yes.
She was quite a lady.
Uh,
All right.
They-
So
They have no idea that their progenities would be looking at their picture
That's for sure.
at this time.
Well,
no,
they didn't have the technology to know
Oh,
what was going to
no.
happen.
But what fun it is. Makes us part of history, actually.
this makes me long for heaven, where I'm sure God has these things preserved, way back.
Very
Absolutely.
would. He would.
Yeah, he's got off of AV.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, there's AV.
yeah, so here's
Yeah, I've seen him before. That picture, I should say.
Now, who is he to you?
His uncle.
AB.
let's see, it's
Oh,
a
the
little
first mayor. Okay.
bit small, but yeah, the newspaper talks about how he was called Mr. Sarasota.
Mhm.
Right.
And
He brought Ringling Brothers down from Chicago to
Uh-huh.
Sarasota.
Oh,
Mhm.
he was involved with that. That's
University
interesting.
College, which is now on the old Ringling Brothers site, has a plaque with all the founding members of the board of directors of the university, and AB's name is on there.
ah,
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm
wow.
looking forward to reading that article when we get it on the YouTube.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could make it bigger. I can make parts
no,
of it
it's okay.
bigger,
Just
but
Yeah.
share everything. I'll go through it on the YouTube. Much
Uh-huh.
easier to see.
yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
So Joe, that where that plaque is that the university that you were with?
No, it is not. It's called the University College. It was the old Ringling Brothers. It's where what was the thing called before they became a college?
I don't know.
It's where the Ringling Brothers set up there. When they closed down, they said they had an event place that you could go to, and then they sold it to the university system, and it became the Florida Honors College.
Mhm.
And that's what it is now. And it's not where I was, but it is the only honors college, I understand, in the state of Florida.
Oh, in Florida.
AB's name is on a lot of things. He was quite a politician.
Well, there's a street called Edwards, isn't there?
Oh, yes, there's near where he used to live in Sarasota.
So what are we looking at here, Chris?
Okay, so this then would be your
Grandfather.
grandfather.
Mhm.
So these are just a couple of clippings here that we found about him. His obituary in the Sarasota newspaper, a business announcement that it talked about. Let's see, that he was in charge of a fish business
Right.
there at the city fish market.
He was quite an artist also. AB had a place out on Siesta Key. His house was there. I tried to buy it back in, I think it was the 70s or sometime during then. But yeah, my grandfather, Irvine, it has beams in the big, it's a big mansion basically, and it has beams in the living room, and they have artwork on them, and he did all of that artwork on those.
Oh, my.
And it's still there.
Mm,
Wow.
Saw it probably 10 years ago.
mhm.
Huh.
When they remodeled, the lady of the house who bought the property, I insist that they not remove those beams. And the artwork in there looks very much like anything that you would see in the Ringling Brothers Zoo, Brothers station in Sarasota. And it looks just like that. So we think that he probably did that as well.
Huh.
And AB had 5 daughters.
Hmm.
Well, good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to meet
You
2 of
over-
them that I remember.
Oh, nice.
This was a wedding announcement in the Sarasota Times in 1911.
Mm.
So
Amazing you can find all that stuff.
I'm just through newspaper archives,
Yeah.
searching for names and dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not in that newspaper. Right?
Let's see. So let me go over, there was let's see. There weren't any photos or anything of anyone beyond that. Trying to think of what else to share. Let's see.
Was
They're
very nice
dead.
at her visit.
Yeah, share some information about their dad if you could.
And Roy and Joe Edwards. And
Yeah, I see that.
Steve.
Sure. Yeah, there was quite a few interesting details. Some marriage announcements.
Oh, that would be fun.
Let's see. It's so small. I wish I could make it. Let me see if I can make that bigger.
Well, we'll see it later also, but just go ahead and include it in this YouTube thing. We'll be able to read it.
Sure. This was really interesting. An article in 1935. And it keeps making me.
Weddings of social interest.
Let's see.
You and your dad, mom.
Mhm.
Let me click on here and save that. So I can make this a little bit bigger if you want to read through here. It's goes all through all kinds of family that was involved with their wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, I can see that. Mhm.
I see. Yeah.
Look at the members of the quartet that sang.
That's good.
For crying out loud, that's the old euphonics.
Euphonic
About-
Yeah.
quartet, and they sang "I Love You Truly" and "While I
Yes.
Have You." Members are Robert Eldridge, Charles Eldridge, Merrill Dawson, and Floyd Newberg. And Uncle Bob
do
sang
awful.
"The Sweetest Story Ever Told."
Yeah.
I love the description of what
Yeah,
everybody
doesn't it?
wore.
yeah.
The bride was given in marriage by her father, and she wore a long, close-fitting gown with a flaring skirt and white satin. A short veil held in place with a wreath of orange blossoms.
Nice. Oh,
Orange
that would have
blossom.
smelled great.
And the matron of honor was Mrs. Charles Eldridge,
Yes.
our mom.
Miss Cassie.
Yeah. She wore a gown of blue organdy and carried pink rosebuds.
I've got pictures of all of that.
Uh,
I don't know
Christine,
that.
do you have pictures of this, Chris, of the event?
No, the only photo I have that includes them was of great grandma and grandpa's, I think it was like their 50th anniversary.
Well, maybe you can share that photo then with Chris and he can add it here.
I'd love to. And this is the first time I've read this. I
Okay,
haven't read this at all. So this will go great with the photo I've got.
that would be so neat. And he can attach it to this article.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
and what I can do, if we can share email addresses, I could send you all of this. You don't have to go on this website specifically, but I could share it and you would have copies of all of this.
That would be great.
That would be great.
See, our mother was the matron of honor and the best man was our father, Charles.
Right.
Mhm.
And
And
our
look where
sister,
they were
Shirley.
going to live. They were going to live in Central Hall. I mean, that was our dining room when I was in college. Isn't that
Whose
something?
wedding? I missed that. Whose wedding is this?
This is Aunt
That's
Ruth.
Aunt Ruth.
And Uncle Roy.
Roy?
Uncle
Okay,
Roy.
okay.
And before the marriage, Mrs. Edwards was entertained at a luncheon. At the
Oh,
home.
look at that. And
Yeah,
Mr. Edwards of Forest Lake Academy, both were students at Washington Missionary College that year, but he went to Forest Lake.
Yes,
Right. He was in the first class of Forest Lake and he was president of the class and he planted all the orange trees around the academy.
My goodness.
wow.
How neat is that?
I love this. Out of town guests were Mr. and Mrs. Charles Kilgore of
Yes.
South Lancaster.
Mhm,
and
Uncle Charlie.
Rochelle, and Mr. and Mrs. Merrill Dawson, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Eldridge, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Eldridge, and Mr. Shirley Eldridge. The three gentlemen being the bride's brothers from
Ah, isn't
Tacoma
that neat?
Park.
That's such a neat description.
Isn't
I
that
don't-
That
cool?
was.
I don't think that they do that kind of a description anymore for anybody else at a newspaper, unless
I
you
know it.
$50 bucks.
Isn't that something? That was quite the social event.
I guess.
And this was a newspaper article in Washington, DC about a wedding in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, they were
that's not
married in Olean.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew it was 35, but I didn't know it was August 14th before.
Huh.
Chris, go up to the top of the page again.
To the beginning.
No, just keep going.
Which column?
Oh,
Weddings
um,
of social interest. I think that's.
Okay, I see it, where I was looking for.
They were married at the First Methodist Church in Olean, New York. I'm
Mhm.
assuming because it was larger than the
It's probably
Adventist.
larger than, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who is Pastor Maynard Campbell? Does anybody remember who he is or was? Was
I
he the
do not.
pastor of the local church?
That was before my
Take it
time.
to school. School in Springs.
I love it.
Ah, I see Bev's mother there.
Yeah. Mhm.
It even told how many guests were there, about 50.
Yeah,
it said.
about 50 guests.
Uh-huh.
Oh, me. Those were the days. Those were the gracious days.
Yes, they were.
It's just politics and COVID anymore.
I see Bev's mother there, who was of that generation.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello. Bev is
she
there.
is.
Oh, hi, Bev.
Charlotte, what happened to Shirley? You're muted, by the way. Unmute yourself. You're muted.
Oh, no.
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they've been very frustrated. Reg was at his computer trying to get on, and every time he put in the passcode, it threw him off.
Oh.
And they don't know what to do. The last thing Shirley said was, I'm gonna try to get on my phone. but I haven't seen them.
If they would just click the link that I sent, that you don't even need a passcode.
Here
Let me
she's
tell you
calling.
what happened to me. I got the same information,
Yes,
but it allowed me to get through anyway.
yeah, Steve got the same thing, but he got right through. If they'll send
Put it
the
on your
email,
phone?
I would send it to them.
Ah,
Yeah,
Again.
go on, have them go on as if it's going to work anyway, even though they think it isn't. Have them try that.
There you go.
You need to call Carol.
I'm going to mute her again. Okay, go ahead and go on, Chris.
all right. So that was a wedding article. I found other mentions. This actually mentioned a party of young people. This is from the Sarasota Herald in 1934. Click on that. So this was interesting that this was in the local newspaper, talking about the group of young people who left to go to Forest Lake near Orlando to attend a youth congress.
Yeah.
And
It lists the people.
list everyone who went along.
Your dad, their dad. Mhm.
Yeah,
And
who's among them.
Mhm.
And Irvin Edwards, is
And
that
Irvin,
the,
yeah.
that's the brother? Or is that it?
So
Irvin?
right, yeah, that would have been the not the father, but the brother.
Mhm.
Correct. He died in 47, car accident.
Yeah, we found a newspaper article that talked about that as well.
So they had the youth congress to discuss the problems of the youth for today.
Isn't that contemporary?
Isn't that a joke?
Imagine that.
Did they have
What
they
did
had
they
problems in
find
the
to
youth in
complain
the
about?
1930s?
Spitballs.
Oh, let's see. There was an announcement in the newspaper, mentions that he was a physician there in Sarasota.
Correct.
He was so young.
36, my goodness.
I remember it. It was soon after we moved here to Orlando from Chicago.
Yeah, just a year.
3:30 in the morning at the Florida Sand.
Mhm.
It's interesting in that disease, in Hodgkin's disease, last 3 weeks he was alive, he was actually feeling better. And he got out of they had tents at that
Tents, we
time for
remember the
oxygen,
tents.
and he
Yep.
didn't need the oxygen tent. And I have concluded that his system just stopped fighting the Hodgkin's disease, and he was feeling more comfortable, and then he died.
Yeah.
How old were you, Roy, when he died?
9 years old.
Oh, my.
And how old was Steve?
He
I was
was
4.
He's 5 years younger, so he was 4.
4 and 9.
Is that Bob Spangler?
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's interesting.
He was the pastor in Bradenton at that time.
Oh, in Bradenton, really?
Interesting.
Huh.
So
Yeah,
we're
I
in
was
there,
in
Roy.
contact with him until he retired from the general conference.
Mm.
You know, he was married to
His
grandfather's, let me see, how is that? How is Amy?
Bob Spangler's wife's mother was our grandfather's second wife.
Yes.
Interesting.
So
That I did not know.
we're doubly related.
Evidently.
Yeah. Well, it would be neat to add some more photos to this. We don't have any photos really of this side of the family. But just these little details are interesting to learn about and to kind of draw the picture of how we're all related and things that I had never known before, and it's just kind of interesting to know. I know there's lots of circumstances that bring people to different places, but it's interesting to see how our side of the family was kind of drawn to Florida and in different parts of Florida, and we're still here so many years later. So many of us are.
Well, I never wanted to leave Florida.
Who chased you
Never.
out?
I gave Mom a hard time because I never wanted to leave in the first place.
Oh, she just took you away to California.
She just took us to California.
Yeah, I remember when you had to leave.
Steve, I hear
You
you're
remember?
still singing and playing your
I
guitar.
am.
That's
I'm
wonderful.
singing and playing my guitar.
Good
That's
for
true.
you.
Very
I
good.
played today.
Maybe we'll see.
I play often.
Put your camera down, or either maybe down or up, because we can't see your mom that good.
I think she's taking a nap.
I think she is too. I'm sorry, I can't see my image, so I appreciate the coaching.
Oh, that's what you can. It's your name. Your name is across the where her face is.
My name, how do I get my name off of it?
Oh, it's just on there. It shows that you're tuned in.
Oh, okay.
You can't help that. It's okay though. It's all right now.
Yeah, so that's about all that I can think of for the moment. I don't know if Mike, if you have anything to share, maybe on the Eldridge side or anything.
Well, this weekend I was poking around at something that we had talked about last week. I think it was Gary Eldridge. He had mentioned that there's record in a lot of the a lot of the old Adventist archives talk about a Captain Eldridge. And who is this Captain Eldridge? Is there any kind of relationship or relation somewhere? And I did find him. So I could share that. Let me, I'll pull it up. And by the way, I found a really fascinating website. It's the Encyclopedia Seventh-day Adventist. So it's kind of the Seventh-day Adventist Wikipedia. I'll start sharing. If you've ever been there or ever looked at it, Chris, I don't know if you've looked at it.
A little bit.
It's got a lot of information and biographies too. A lot of biographies. I just did a search for Kilgore, and Aunt Rochelle is there. She's the only Kilgore currently. It looks as though there is, if you look all the way down, articles coming soon. So R.M. Kilgore is being written currently. It would be great to, if you click on there, they say, hey, if you have additional information, it would be great if you could contribute. So I don't know if Mom, you're talking. It looks like you're on mute.
I think Shirley
Maybe she's
called her.
talking to some, okay.
Yeah, but to Shirley to see if they could get on.
So anyway, this encyclopedia is under construction. There are a lot of things. If you were to go look for like the Review and Herald, well, that's under construction. There's a lot of things that are being researched. And so anyway, fascinating information about Rochelle in here. Rochelle Philman, if you wanted to go look in there, there's a lot of information. But I did a search for Eldridge in here, and there are, by the way, there are some interesting things if you do a search in here for Eldridge. Not, well, it talks about Captain Eldridge, links to Captain Eldridge. Someone else pops up
Oh,
who
look at
does
there.
have an entry in here
that's nice.
that has, you can
Michael?
go look and see if it's accurate.
Oh, we're getting a
Yes.
picture of a Zoom.
And I think
Get started.
there is, I think it's looks very good. It was submitted by Milton Hook. I don't know who that is, but this
It's
article is,
probably a reprint from what they
Probably.
did in the review.
but here's you in here, Betty.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
So you're in the encyclopedia.
Mm.
And it talks about him and Saw's leadership and Florida Conference, and yeah, I think it is very much. It looks like it's a reprint. But anyway, the kids are in here too, so that's neat.
Mhm.
Yes, it is. That's such a nice picture of him.
Well,
We're not seeing any of that.
you're not seeing my desktop.
No, I'm getting a Zoom. Here
Oh.
we. Okay, we
Well.
just went out and back in, so now we're seeing it.
Oh, good.
Okay, I go
Then
scroll back up.
down, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice right up there.
Hmm.
But well, where I found the other Captain Eldridge, they reference Captain Eldridge a few times, but then in particular this guy who is the a nephew of Ellen White,
the
fascinating
songwriter.
guy.
Yeah.
You've
the
heard of this guy, Franklin
Yeah.
Belden, Edson
Mhm.
Belden, was
Writer.
hymn writer, a number of hymns. He was instrumental in putting together Christ in Song. But then he had a falling out, unfortunately, kind of a fight over publishing rights, and
Mm.
unfortunately seems to be separated himself and never really reconciled,
Oh.
as did Captain Eldridge. So this Captain Eldridge
Oh.
did not, it was the two of them kind of went, they bumped heads with the review and Ellen White, and it's really unfortunate. So where I found more information about this Clement Eldridge was in the Ellen White, ellenwhite.org has, if you've ever been there, there's tons and tons of fascinating things, letters. You can see the original handwritten, in many cases, letters to Ellen White from many individuals, including our family members, R.M. Kilgore and others. Anyway, here's this, there was an entry in here for Captain Eldridge. Sorry, you can see all of this highlighted, but there's a little write-up on him, on who he was. He was a mariner, and originally from South Chatham, Massachusetts. And so anyway, he's in here. He is, I don't know about a direct relationship. I tried to do, I found him actually, Chris, in the family search. There is an entry in there, but I do a how related, and it doesn't really come up with anything.
Huh,
But anyway, yeah, so that's
Mike, every tree has its bad apples.
well, I'm not going to claim this guy as a relative. So
There's Shirley.
Oh, there's Shirley and Red.
oh,
And Reg
Oh,
finally
good.
made it.
Let's go back to the pictures. Let's go back to the main tree, the main.
you want to go back, Chris? I'll stop sharing. Maybe Chris wants to go back and
Do a little, let's just look at each other for a minute here.
Hi.
Right.
Hey, you see who all is there? Look at that.
I'm gonna do a screenshot.
Shirley, we got both your brothers. We got Bev. We got Charlotte's daughter, Carol,
Yes.
and all my sisters and
There they are.
our 2 sons.
Isn't this fun?
This is
Yeah,
wonderful.
This is nice.
We even have Bev's mother.
And we have who? Oh, yes, I see. No.
Yeah, and Eleanor.
Eleanor.
She's
Oh,
sleeping,
sure.
but she's here.
Yeah, sure, there she is. Oh my goodness. Hi, Bev.
Hello, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Well, it's
Uh,
wonderful. I'm sorry we're so late to the party, but we kind of sort of can figure it out now, you think?
Yeah, I think next week you can just join it on your own.
Right.
They don't turn anybody away. Everybody's accepted if they're family.
That's
Very
right.
Every
good.
Monday
And
night.
you join us anytime. We're on every Monday night, rain or shine.
At our
4 o'clock
4
PM.
o'clock your
your
time.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes Jupe, you know Jupe?
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes she joins us from Thailand.
Oh, how
And
fun.
it's 12 hours different for her.
Yeah, big deal.
I
Yeah,
think we've had almost everybody show up at one point in time or another.
pretty much. So
Yeah.
all of
There's a few of us
nieces and
cousins.
nephews.
Yeah, a few of us cousins who haven't, but mostly at some point, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Do I want to make copies of the paperwork that I saw on there about all the Eldridge names on the white thing that he was talking about?
Chris is going to send some copies of some of this and then you'll be able to watch it again on the YouTube and see whatever you want. If you need copies of anything, let
Oh,
us
absolutely.
know and we'll give you whatever you'd like.
Yeah, well, I would think I would like all the copies that you guys would have. I don't know.
Well, everything that the boys are showing is on a family tree site. So
Aha.
you may want to consider which is it? Is it ancestry.com or what are you guys on?
Family search.
Family search,
FamilySearch.org.
I know.
family
Okay.
search. And you can join it. It's free.
Uh-huh.
Sign in and do some searching on your own and you'll see all kinds of stuff that Chris and Mike and Gary and a lot
Yeah,
of people
Gary. Yeah, Gary does a lot.
a lot on the Eldridge side.
Mhm.
Okay.
Steve, I have a question for Steve. Have you ever heard of the Acapeldridge?
Acapeldridge?
Yes, it's the guy
No,
that he thinks quartets with himself and it's beautiful, but his name is Acapeldridge.
Well, his name is Eldridge and his group is Acapeldridge.
Yes.
A-
Write that down.
ACUP?
Aka, A-C-A,
A.
ACA. Got it.
like you're saying acapella.
Yes, right. Okay, but it's just
I
Aca
want to get to your-
Acapel, P, and then Eldridge.
to get your-
and then the Eldridge. Got it. How
you go.
interesting.
Hey, Reg and Shirley,
Yes.
here's my other half.
Hi, Rob.
Hey, hi, Rob.
Yeah,
Good to
Hey,
see
Rob.
you guys.
I hope things are going well with everyone.
Yes, it is. We're just fine. We just aren't too bright. We've had a hard time getting here.
You made it,
That's all
Shirley.
right.
That's,
Well,
that's,
we
what,
needed to work on it before,
that's
but
the
I didn't.
important part.
Yeah,
Well, Carol gave us a scoop and we got it.
yeah.
Good.
yeah.
That's good. I
Carol,
knew
good.
she could get you through. I knew she could do it.
You were right. Charlotte told us to call Carol. And so that was good. No,
Reg,
that's-
did Janet ever write you back, Reg?
Yeah, she wrote me and said she was with Marshall, I think his name is in Texas. And she sent
Yes.
email.
Well, good. I'm glad she responded to you. Good.
Yes, she did. That's good.
Okay.
Oh, now we have a cat.
Oh my.
This is Mom's nurse.
Yeah,
Oh, and her friend, I'm sure.
I see she woke up too.
Okay.
Well, we have a pet, but he's outside.
He's a big pet.
And he's a big
Yeah.
one. Yes, he is. And he looks fierce, but he's not. He's
No.
loose.
What are the names of your dogs? I remember those.
We just have one. Pet,
It's big
Max.
German Shepherd,
Yeah, he's a huge German Shepherd. Max is his name.
but he's the sweetest guy. I've had
You're
7
right, Max.
German Shepherds, but this one is a really loving, nice one. He's never growled at anybody and loves everybody.
Oh,
Nah,
Unusual
one
for
of them
German
called-
Shepherd.
Wesson,
not Wesson.
Max.
And you notice she said he was out twice.
We get,
So when is this gonna be on YouTube?
I will have to upload it and hopefully by tomorrow, and I will send you the link.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'll send you the
I'd
link.
like to-
And it's a private link, so it's like it's an unlisted number. So,
Right.
because I don't want everybody in the world out there, but
Right.
it'll be on. I have,
You can't just go on YouTube and say, show me Eldridge, right?
no,
That's good.
definitely no.
Okay.
you're famous, but maybe not that famous.
I don't want to be that famous. Too many,
No.
So,
too many nosy people. Well, Chris, do you have any last things to share us? Because I know that you want to get onto your evening and don't want to
No,
hold you up.
That's all I really have. I just wasn't sure what would be the best way to get everyone's contact information.
I can send it to you because I think I have everybody now.
You have that? Okay.
that would be terrific, because I'd be really interested in it.
Yeah, I've got Steve's, I've got Roy's, I've got Shirley's now. So, and I've got Bev. So we'll send everybody that's here tonight. I'll send to you, Chris.
Okay.
And you
That
can
would be
share those
good.
documents and I'll share the YouTube.
We're
Very good.
happy to share all the details we can.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing the
Thank you
work.
for doing this too.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work too.
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm just, so happy that they're interested in that because let them do it. And then you can enjoy it.
We'll just enjoy it. I agree. It's a lot of work. I'm really glad he does that.
It's a lot of fun that it draws us together again.
That's
Mhm,
true.
mhm.
Right.
I love that.
Oh,
And Joe, you do a lot of that too, don't you?
I haven't touched it in a very long time. Yeah,
But
but
she has done it before.
but Chris has done so much that it's going to fill in a lot of holes.
That's good. That's the point. And
And
if
Chris,
you,
I'll try to find those pictures, and especially if once I see the YouTube and see what you might want a picture of, I'll see, because we have a bank of family photos.
Nice.
that
would
would
be
be
great.
nice.
Just one more thing, Roy, your house looks quite freshly painted behind you.
That was a month-long journey, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
I think he
I
still has
told
some
him,
on
I
his
can't-
hands, as a matter of fact.
Oh my, that was a huge job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said that was the greenhouse? No. Oh, he's just talking. I told him that about you having to paint your house and the New Hampshire one, right?
No, we did the docks, and there's 5 of them, so
Well, that was my,
the same.
That
Yeah.
took all summer.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Roy, 2 weeks ago, Chris, our son Chris, was up in the neck of the woods close to where you have your house up there in New Hampshire. He and his wife took a little trip up into New England. And tell him where it is that you had your house. He just sold it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it anymore. Where was that?
Well, you're talking about ours?
Yes.
Well, our house is in Milton, New Hampshire.
We
And
haven't
we
sold
have-
it.
We haven't sold it yet, but we're going to sell it this summer.
Okay, so it's still up for sale if anybody's interested.
Mm.
It's 2,700 feet. It has an apartment attached, 2-car garage, and has 5 decks and a dock, and it's on 3 Pond.
Don't
Hmm.
advertise
Sounds
my
good.
ex. That might just,
You could just turn it into an Airbnb and just keep it.
yes, right, and keep it.
It's a little hard to go changing the beds.
I
from
know.
Tennessee up there.
That's true. You'd have to hire that out, that's for sure.
That's
How are the winters up there?
Cold. Very cold.
Yeah, we were up there in 2019 because of COVID and it was cold.
The ponds, the lake freezes over and they just take it in stride and put little houses out there and fish all winter and
Yeah.
drive around. I mean, we thought it was a
Oh.
little odd, but you know, then we're not natives.
Mhm.
I would say to Michael, by the way, I read a story about Captain Eldridge and Ellen White recently. And I was impressed with his honesty because of the fact that he had taken a position against some publishing, and
Yeah.
Ellen White had a dream, and then she was going to say what it was, and she forgot it, and then 4 months later she remembered it, or the angel brought it back to her again, and it was about this publishing problem. And the minute it was revealed, because the dream was about a meeting he had with some of the other men about publishing, and he stood up and said that he would not resist because she had told him that he was in the wrong.
That's interesting.
I recently read that too. I don't know where it was that I read it, maybe some of the biography or history, but I just recently read that also. Interesting.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he was an honest man, if nothing else.
Interesting.
Stubborn, but honest.
Right.
Well, thank you all for
Well, thank
inviting
you.
us.
Yes, we're
Good
so,
to see
it's so
everybody.
exciting to see everybody.
This is exciting. This is a bonanza.
It's wonderful to meet partners that we don't know, that we haven't met before.
Mhm.
Like that's Mike, right? Or Chris?
You-
Wait,
Well, I'm right here.
Yeah. Is that?
You know,
Philip?
And
you know,
that's
you know
Chris.
me. I stayed at your house. I have yes, my wife and I, we weren't married yet.
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't know if you remember, we stayed with you and you put us in the same room, and we weren't married yet. And we had to clarify some
think I
things, and
know now.
it was actually a fun thing. No, we have a chicken pitcher that we love
Oh, yeah.
that you gave us for our wedding. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
I have that same chicken. I know exactly.
I know. I think you gave us orange juice in it that morning, and it was wonderful. And you said, if you like this one, we have another one for you. It was fun.
Oh, my
We
goodness.
enjoyed
I
our
tried
stay
it.
with you all.
This old age thing is really rough.
Yeah.
It was quite the hostess.
Yeah, right. Can't even
But
remember.
don't forget now, every Monday night at 7 Florida time
Yeah,
is when we're on Zooms. Anybody can come in anytime
that's
at
wonderful.
7.
Well, that's great.
Well, I'll do it.
We sisters have done this for over a year. And
Wonderful.
That's
we
great.
just look forward to it every week, and we love it when other people pop in.
Yes,
Even though
yes.
the sisters all live within 45 minutes of each other or less.
Less,
they
uh-huh.
do
Yes,
Zoom.
I know, right. I think
This
it's
is a
marvelous.
great outcome of COVID that we
Yeah.
didn't participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something can come good can come from it.
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of people ought to just do this with their family. I think it's a great idea.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
thank you for
Well,
inviting
send the
us.
code.
Yes, we enjoyed this a lot.
Well, Joe and I are coming to Florida at the end of April. We're hoping we can all get together with those
Oh,
of you in
would be
Florida.
fun.
Nice.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
must do that. That would
We
be
must,
great.
Maybe we could meet at the pavilion in Mead Gardens.
Wherever you want.
Wherever you want.
That's a good idea.
That's a great
That'd
spot.
be nice.
Mhm.
That'd be nice.
All right.
The end-
I gotta
the
go.
end of
I will see
April.
you guys next time. Thank you so much.
All
Love you
right.
guys.
Okay.
Bye,
Okay,
Steve.
Steve.
Bye,
Bye,
Steve.
Steve.
Bye. We'll be in touch.
All right.
Hmm.
I
All
want
right.
to go to the house that has rocks all over it. Whose is that?
Mine.
Oh, yes, you're right. Betty?
Same house.
Mom, I'll call you later.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Carol. Good to
Okay.
see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you,
Bye.
Carol.
Love you all.
Bye.
Okay,
All right.
bye, guys.
Good to see you
Bye-bye.
all.
Good to see you, Shirley.
Okay.
Work.
Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Okay, let's see. One by one, they're dropping off.
Now you're telling me it's always on Monday night though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right, all right. 4 o'clock
Yeah.
for us.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a little early, but
No, it's
for
kind of,
retirees, maybe that's good.
that is good. I hate to tell you, but it is.
All
Do
right,
you know how
guys,
to
it's-
do it now, Shirley?
I think we've got it.
I think they
Don't
got
worry,
it.
Charlotte, I will call you if we can't do
Well,
it.
I-
You
He-
should
he
write,
said
write
no
down the
problem.
steps you did.
Yes, Carol got us
I
on,
fixed
so,
it.
yeah. fixed
Good
it.
deal.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Carol.
So
Wonderful to hear from everybody. What are we going to say?
I was going to say, we could do the same thing with the Kubrok side too.
I
you know,
know we have Kubrok
Okay.
cousins that we need.
Whole
to
lot of
connect with.
Kubrok cousins too. That would be neat to
Right.
connect with.
Yeah.
Fill in some additional holes in our
We tried to
family.
get Noel on here and he won't. He's
Oh,
scared.
No.
well, but he would do it. It's really foggy where you are, Chris.
Right.
Are you in the middle of fog?
No, that's Mike.
Mike,
Mike,
no,
Mike.
this was just my backyard. I don't know, some time ago, but it was rainy and foggy. Yeah, it was just
Okay.
a rainy, foggy day. Today it was a little rainy, foggy, but yeah, that's my backyard.
Okay.
An
He
older
lives in
picture, but
Idaho.
Idaho, yeah, pretty close to where Gary lives. We go to the same church.
Oh, do you?
Gary and I do.
Serious?
Oh, it does up
Well,
north.
where we are, we have a cabin in Idaho near the kids. So, well, it's not that
It's-
close, to them, but
It's up in Coeur d'Alene area, or is it?
oh no, we're
no.
down. We're closer to
Riggins.
Boise. It's not Riggins.
Riggins.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, is
Well,
that
if you want to, yeah, we go to the Boise church, the Cloverdale church,
You're
where Gary goes. If you're in our neck of the woods, we'd
well, we will. We go
love
every,
to see you all.
well, my word.
Yeah.
So, okay, now, Mike, I gotta have your phone number.
Okay, do you want it in the, I could just put in the chat.
Okay, you can do that. Whatever works.
You may not know how to get chat.
I don't know if you see the chat pop up, but
Well, we'll
208, I'll just tell it to you then,
Okay.
863
863.
1881.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, we go up. Usually, what do you think this year we're going to do?
Fall, probably.
Probably more September-ish. Maybe a little,
Okay.
who knows, somewhere around there. It's usually when we go.
We stopped and saw Ellen and Gary last time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You live near them?
Well, they're up in the foothills a
Yeah.
little ways. We're down in the flatland,
Oh.
down in Boise Meridian area. So we're probably about 15 minutes from them, 15, 20
Well,
minutes.
not bad. Yeah, I mean, we
But-
drive right through there to get up to our cabin. So that's
Mhm.
very interesting. How long have you lived there?
What, 13 years now, something?
My goodness, amazing.
Yeah. We've
Look at
been here
that
a
face
while.
on that cat.
That is so-
So alert, looking right at us.
Just likes being part of the
It
family.
says pet me, please.
Yeah.
Hey, kitty, 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 kitty.
Aw.
All right, everybody, it's good to see you and we will
Yeah.
hopefully see you next week and we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, all.
Okay. Bye.
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 Oh, there's
Bye.
pickles.
Oh, there's
See,
pickles.
there's a cousin cat.
Cousin.
Cousin cat. Oh, cute. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Like, we'll have to schedule some time and do some more sharing of our discoveries too.
Yes,
We can
Yes.
do.
it'd be fun to do.
Good
A little
deal.
harder to do it during the week, but let me know if you have any time. We can schedule that.
It would be fun. Yeah.
All right, bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Okay.
bye
See you all
everyone.
later.